Truly, truly some inspiring, fantastic, thought-provoking designs, these three that we have awarded prizes to this evening. You know, we have these discussions amongst ourselves after the winners had been announced, and in thinking, in fact, about some of the discussions that took place at the jury's table a few weeks back. That whole notion of center edge, time and again, as I said a few moments ago, it returns and it returns. What's so elegant about the way that things have worked out this evening, and I love it, is that we actually have a center, an edge, and of course in the true postmodern fashion, a center edge. And I think that is brilliant. And so I just love the way that things have turned out here. This really just rocks. So I would like to, if I could, invite you all to put your hands together once again for the folks that are going to make this equation part of the new Vancouver reality. We have our jury selection winner and our People's Choice winner in reverse order, Michael Alexander once again. Joe Fry, Annika Borgnucci, and Lauren Christian for the Hannah Collaborators. Mark Ashley, Kevin Fong, Isabel Smith, and Daniel Rowan for the wonderful jury prize winner. Awesome work, guys. Truly awesome. Okay, so Michael, thank you for the segue. That was awesome because you also said that this is just the beginning. It is. I know that seems sort of like, I don't know what you call those turns of phrase. It's not the beginning, it's the end. No, it's the end, it's the beginning, those sorts of things. This is, as we mentioned, this for us is a starting point. Because it's nice to draw pictures about designs. It's nice to get together every few months and have some guest speakers, some of whom like the idea and occasionally some of them don't, but whatever. I mean, we have these events and it generates a lot of interest. But where do we go from here? Where do we go? What do we do about this? Our hope is that we can get together and animate one of these spaces as best possible within the city's existing regulatory environment. We'll work through that one. So maybe 10 years from now we'll have a celebration. No, we're going to try and make something happen a little bit sooner. What I would like to do is I would like to invite you all to be part of the process, and I really sincerely hope that you will take us up on our offer. It's going to take an awful lot of people who are interested in public space and urban design to advance the discussion. Now, on the positive side, and he's not here this evening because he called to apologize, but Brent Todderan and his crew at the City of Vancouver and the folks in the engineering department and the urban design studio, they've been at practically every one of our events. They're really, really keen to know about this competition. I think they get it. I'm very, very encouraged by the conversations we've had with them. I'm even more encouraged by the fact that we continually get people coming to us and saying, oh my gosh, you guys are doing something about a public square, that's awesome, sign me up. We want to sign folks up, but we also want to encourage people to come out and lend a hand and to pick up the discussion and sort of insert it into your own conversations around the city with your friends and your collaborators and your co-workers. Because you know what, when you do go traveling to those other places around the world and you sit down in one of those cafes or you walk through one of those markets that suddenly transforms itself into an evening event, that suddenly transforms itself into a beautiful place to people watch. When you do that and when you come back and when you wonder why Vancouver doesn't have that, remember that it is possible to have that. It happened in Portland 25 years ago. It happened in Toronto just a half dozen ago. When people really want these types of spaces and when they want to create that in the city, they can make it happen. And so it's really incumbent upon us, I think, collectively, collaboratively, to try and advance that discussion with City Hall. It ain't going to happen if we don't carry on the conversation. It's not going to happen if we don't do something really snazzy and spectacular when it comes to planting those petunias or animating that space or spaces. And maybe we can do all three, I don't know. If we get some help, I think we can make it happen. So, our invitation, please sign up. Please do not lose sight of this notion of where the square is. You now have 3 answers to that question. So, that's it for the evening. I wanted to thank you all for coming, but before we turn you over to the hors d'oeuvres, the coffee that is now, I understand, brewed and ready to go for anyone that prefers an evening cafe, I wanted to do one other thing, and that is, I'm just looking around the room here, I'd like to invite a few more people to the stage. In fact, I'd like to invite our core Where's the Square team, because I'd like to introduce them to you. These are the people that have been behind this competition from the beginning. They've met every single week sometimes. Maybe we let a week go by once or twice, but we've been meeting in the cafes and in the public spaces and social spaces around Vancouver on a fairly regular basis, working through the intricacies of democratic process, trying to figure out how to make advisory committees work and get a jury together, and oh my god, people are actually responding to the competition. Now what do we do? That sort of stuff. So if you will indulge me, I would like to ask Adam Vasilovich, Stephanie Dirksen, Nicole DeBlanco, Lindsay Doe, Aaron Omelin, Miles McKenzie, Amanda Mitchell, and Jason Vanderhill to the stage.